unsettling discoveries are discovered all the time, all over the world. The things humans have already in the past discovered, from opening doors to ancient civilizations, amazing scientific discoveries, and exploring our universe in more detail than we ever had, with the potential of extraterrestrial life. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we'll be taking a look at 3 truly chilling discoveries from all over the world. An eerie ice cream shop discovery. An ice cream shop, normally full of happy children and adults, a place of fun and laughter, is probably the last place you'd think you'd find hiding a truly terrible secret inside its basement. Located in Vienna, Austria, the ice cream shop was a seemingly innocent shop and was going about normal days in business when the pipes burst. The shop was in some desperate need of renovations and some TLC. The owner, Carranza, was a woman in her 30s who had called a repairman to fix the ice cream shop's pipes. Upon his arrival, he noticed something off about the basement floor, which was where the pipes were located. The concrete was totally uneven in large portions. Ignoring this, the repairman started digging through the concrete floor to get to the pipe. This was until they were completely stopped in their tracks, as they had hit something metal, which was strange. They shouldn't have been at the pipes yet. No one could have known the horrors they were about to witness. After digging around the metal discovery that had stopped them, they realised they'd in fact hit a freezer. This freezer was full of the remains of 2 human beings, and they immediately called the police. Surprisingly, it was a pretty easy case for police. As soon as the police were called, Carranza, the ice cream shop owner, fled from her home in Austria to Italy. The police had their early suspicions confirmed. She was the prime suspect, and she was swiftly extradited back to Austria. Once back, she was found to be pregnant, and even more shockingly, was completely open about the crimes, and admitted to killing both the people found in the freezer. They were later identified by her as her ex-boyfriend and ex-husband. Nicknamed the Ice Lady by national news outlets, Carranza confessed to the reasons for her killings. Her ex-husband, who she quoted was a lazy slob after he had refused to leave their apartment, located above the same ice cream shop she owned. She saw no other way out and so decided to kill him by shooting him in the back of the head whilst he was on the computer. She then left him there until the evening, due to being called back downstairs to work. That evening, she would then go on to use a chainsaw to dismember her ex-husband's body and place him in the freezer. The next killing was a planned murder. She killed her ex-boyfriend after a heated argument, which then escalated into a drunken fight. He'd allegedly cheated on her. She admitted that she was planning on killing him for some time, again by shooting him in the head while he slept after the fight. She was sentenced to life in a mental hospital after she was found to have been living as if she was the princess who wanted to be rescued by a prince. After being imprisoned, she went on to find love and married while serving time in the hospital. She actually wrote a book about the killings and would go on to say that she saw the murders as her only way out of 2 abusive relationships. After constant manipulation and abuse, she felt she had no other choice. Now, she's residing in a different psychiatric prison. The Black Sarcophagus in ancient Egypt. This discovery was made just over a year ago in Alexandria, Egypt. It was never seen before black sarcophagus, made entirely out of granite that's been dated to a rough time thought to have been after the legendary historical figure Alexander the Great had taken over Alexandria around 332 BC. The sarcophagus was opened, and its contents were fascinating. Along with some seriously horrific smelling sewage, it was thought to be the skeletal remains of 3 ancient soldiers. It was found that one of the skeletons had been hit by an arrow. Early testing suggested that the infamous sewage had managed to get inside the sarcophagus at some point in the lengthy period that it had sat there until now. There were also a few artifacts that were found within the coffin, mostly just a few gold objects, including some sheets of gold with etchings of images. There was also the remains of someone who was found in the immediate area around the sarcophagus. What's also interesting is the sheer size of the sarcophagus, as it's thought to be the largest ever found in Alexandria. When found, it measured to be just more than 2.5 meters wide and just under 2 meters tall. This discovery initially led to more questions, as archaeologists and other scientists really don't know anything about these skeletons or why they're here, or why there was so much sewage inside. After extensive testing, it was revealed that the 3 skeletons were that of one woman thought to be between the ages of 20 to 25, and the other 2 were 2 men between the ages of 35 and 44. These bodies were placed in the sarcophagus at different times and just placed one on top of the other. Not yet confirmed with testing, but scientists studying the sewage believed it to be regular sewage water that mixed and fermented with decomposing mummy flesh and wrappings. That would explain its particularly horrid stench. Tests and further research are still being carried out, and we're still learning about this infamous black sarcophagus. More questions should be answered in the near future regarding this discovery. A medieval skeleton found entangled in tree roots. A common occurrence during big storms is that trees can often get uprooted or blown over. However, a couple of years ago, during a storm in Ireland, a 200-year-old tree was uprooted, and what was found was chilling. The horror was found once the storm had settled and the uprooted tree was found. Under it was the heavily distorted remains of what was thought to be a medieval boy who at the time of his death was in his late teens. Using carbon dating, the process that measures the amount of radiocarbon which is used to date how old an organism is, researchers found the teenager died over 800 years ago. His remains indicated that his death was brutal, with signs of injuries to his hands and ribs. Indicators that he may have been fleeing his potential attackers at the time of his death. Unfortunately, as the tree was pulled out of the ground, the skeleton was essentially ripped in half, with one half staying in the ground and the other half going with the tree. In this mess, some of the remains were either lost or completely broken, and therefore a full analysis may never be possible. What researchers do know is that the teenager actually received a Christian burial. However, there have been no other remains of anyone else found in the surrounding area. Other information about the remains indicate he was about 5 foot 10 inches tall, and the researchers were able to distinguish a minor spinal joint disease which would have been present at the time of his death. This would also suggest that he worked as a tough labourer job from a young age, which would have constantly damaged his developing spine. This accidental but also remarkably interesting discovery just goes to show how many other secrets could be lying underneath us, and how many secrets may never be found. So what do you make of all these discoveries? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and help us by growing this community, whilst working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.